Hi, I'm Mike Sadler, Senior Auctioneer here at Heritage Auctions, and I'm here with Todd Imhof, Executive Vice President. Hey, Todd.
Mike, good to be here.
It's always nice to be able to carve some time out to be with you and chat a little bit about numismatics, about heritage, about what's going on. And I'd like to dive right in if you don't mind.
Sure. No, it's a lot going on in the marketplace and here at Heritage, so fire away.
So numismatically, the Central States show is coming up. That's a big show. That's one of the four pillars, if you will, of coin shows. I've always liked that show. It kind of has a Midwestern hometown feel. It's very widely attended, and of course it is in the central United States, so it's widely attended. With that in mind, what do you see as the state of the coin market? You know, are people collecting? I mean, obviously they're collecting some big coins and getting things done, but do you see the attendance at the shows? You attend those big things. What is your take on it?
Well, I think the state of the coin market today is continues to be as strong as we've ever seen it. What really started at least 2 years ago now as the pandemic was coming in, and now as we've emerged from the pandemic, our marketplace, we've really benefited from all of us that are collecting, investing in coins. Continue to enjoy a really vigorous market. The headline coins always get most of the attention, but really we're seeing a bull market right now, A to Z. Now certainly that's buoyed quite a bit by precious metal prices being up, inflationary pressures that that bode well for not just rare coins but all tangible assets. I think that these are things that are helping lift our marketplaces.
Well, I mean, obviously Heritage is a place where big coins are traded, are exchanged, trade hands. What about collector coins? Like you said, A to Z, does that mean, you know, low value, medium value, all the way to high value? I mean, are you seeing, because obviously we need, you know, collectors at all levels. Are you seeing the positive trends at all levels of collecting?
Yeah, we really are. And what's really been healthy for our marketplace, and something that we haven't seen for many years, is this infusion of new bidders. For a number of years here, we've been concerned looking at the state of the overall rare coin marketplace being on the wrong side of an aging demographic. I can't sit here and say that has reversed itself. It hasn't, but we're certainly seeing improvements in that area where we're getting younger blood and additional people that rather than just the same usual suspects.
Sure. I mean, every coin that's sold has to be purchased by someone. It's a you know, two-prong. That's a two-facet gem there. With that in mind, so the Central States coming up. That's a huge show. Heritage holding the big signature sale. We're doing it in Texas, not in Central States, but all the coins will be able to be viewed there, correct?
Correct. Like we've done in most of our auctions over the last couple of years, we conduct lot viewing at the expo, where people flying into the expo can view any of the coins that are in the upcoming sale. And then we conduct the sale a few days later. It gives people more of a chance to focus on being on the bourse floor, discussing coins with other dealers and with each other, and not feeling so rushed to worry about getting their bids in for our auction. So it gives them a few extra days after the event in Schaumburg to figure their bids and bid on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of the following week.
So let's break into the Central States here just for a minute. Some big collections coming up. Can you hit on just a few of them?
Well, like you said, Central States is always one of our big bellwether events of the year. It's always filled with a lot of great coins, and a lot of great collectors have consigned to this sale. Tom Bender, we're nearing the end of his collection now.
Boy, he's a consummate collector.
Well, Tom has put together just an incredible collection of coins. And in this particular session in Central States, it's mostly predominantly his half dimes, which are just spectacular. You know, half dimes, they're a small coin, but you look at these small coins, these coins are just magnificent. I mean, they have the punch of a $20 gold piece, despite their small size. The quality is spectacular. And in addition, we have some of his other material, more of things that weren't part of just the half dime set or his $3 set.
And you and I have known Tom a long time. And
Sure.
What I think made Tom such an interesting collector is he collected things like registry sets, you know, Lincoln pennies, Indian cents, all the way to unique coins. I mean, unique United States rarities, and I think that's pretty cool that a guy was able to kind of stretch his collecting interest that broad
And keep it at such a high level.
Oh, incredible high
amazing.
level. So what about some other collections showing
Well,
up?
of course, this particular Central States is anchored by another installment of the Bass collection. This will be part 3 of the Bass collection, and it's going to be $10-20 million worth of coins again crossing the auction block with some incredible rarities and unique coins.
So we saw part 1 in Long Beach, right, several months ago, and then Orlando at the Fun, and now this is part 3.
Part 3, and then part 4 the final part will take place in August.
So at the A&A sale, is that
That's
correct?
correct.
So those are the 4 pillars. Those are the four big shows, certainly.
They are, certainly for heritage and for the industry.
Yeah. So the Bass sale, since we've swerved off a little bit, let's talk briefly about the Bass collection. How did those coins get to heritage?
Well, I think I've talked about this in previous interviews. Heritage had to compete as an auction house to get the rights to auction this magnificent collection, and it was a very highly competitive situation. And fortunately, we prevailed and were able to show the trustees of the Bass Foundation what we were able to deliver.
Have they been pleased, surprised? What are their emotions? What are their feelings as they round out into the third base, as they round third base?
Yeah, hard for me to speak for the Bass Foundation.
Sure, I understand.
But, all the feedback we've got is that they're incredibly pleased with how we've handled things, and certainly with the prices that we've delivered. Most of our consigners these days are incredibly pleased with the prices that Heritage is delivering to them.
Now look, you know prices, you know values. You've advised the biggest collectors on the acquisitions of the biggest coins. Were you a little surprised of the prices?
Absolutely. We have our ranges whenever we go into an auction, and our top numismatists here gather and figure out, okay, where do we expect these prices to lay out? There wasn't a single one of us, even the most optimistic of us, that predicted the premiums that were going to be paid over and above what we initially appraised the material at. And again, this is not just on Bass, but we're seeing this along the lines of all these major high quality collections.
Right.
Like Tom Bender, like Bob Simpson.
Sure.
I don't think we have any Simpson coins in this particular session, but certainly those prices have been strong.
And we'll see a lot of his patterns as well in the Central
We do,
States
and coming
as well.
through, and well, Bass has a lot of patterns.
Of course.
And on the heels of Simpson. There's a great partial collection of $20 St. Gaudens owned by Noel Patton. Noel was also just a great connoisseur of $20 gold pieces and some other coinage, but in this particular sale we have a lot of his $20 Saints, a lot of rare dates. I don't think there's been a stronger area of the market than 20th century gold these days.
Interesting. Let's step back just a little bit in this conversation. And we'll put our toes in the water on the state of the market. We're seeing 7-figure coins, $1 million coins being offered in the last 6 months at Heritage. We've offered unique coins, 4 of them, United States offerings. It was a delight to preside over those sales, by the way. But without, obviously we can't reveal who purchased them. Who's buying these $1 million coins? Are they collections that are well established? Are they new people? Are they folks who are just fascinated with coins and they're just getting into it? Who's buying these?
So we've seen the prices these coins have been acquired by some of the usual suspects, no question about that. They continue, a number of the major names seem to still have a voracious appetite for incredible coins and have deep pocketbooks to go with that allows them to acquire them. But we've also been really fortunate here at Heritage to see this infusion of new bidders. Many of them on the younger side too, which has been especially fun for us to see and heartening for us to see, just for the state of the coin market longer term. So we are seeing this infusion of new bidders, and I think that the timing in terms of those that wanted to sell or needed to sell these days have been rewarded.
Yeah.
Heritage is nothing if not a marketing monster, and our ability to reach out and bring in new collectors or even existing collectors that have been out of the market for a while.
Well, let's touch on that.
Great.
These you've been giving advice for a long time. I mean, decades. What are you telling when you get on the phone and you congratulate a bidder, or perhaps you chat a little bit before the auction and, hey, this is the feel I get from the sale, and I'm sure that's, those are the things that are exchanged. What are you telling? What are you telling these new collectors to the market who are ready to invest and purchase and acquire some of these extreme rarities? What are you telling them?
I think most of the top numismatists in the country today are telling their clients, and we certainly show our clients, really what they can already see. And the same philosophies: buy high quality, buy rare coin, buy rare dates rather, buy interesting coins, still holds true today. So
Sure.
not a lot has changed, other than the fact I think that I'm seeing less people focused on collecting a specific series of coins, like say just Buffalo nickels,
Sure.
and putting in all those dates, or just $20 St. Gaudens, or they tend to focus now on just the rare dates within these series. So, let's face it, if you put together a set of
Morgan dollars.
Sure, Morgan silver dollars. If you're putting together a set of Morgan, and you bring a set of Morgan dollars to the marketplace to auction, the memorable sets, nobody asks, gosh, what was his 1880s? Okay.
Fair enough, unless it's a 69, of course, yeah.
They all want to know, what was his 93s?
Right.
Did he have an 89 cc? What was his 96.0? What was his 95.0?
Exactly, sure.
The same really rare dates. And I think that we're seeing a trend these days where more and more people are focusing much more on those rare dates, less on the common dates, and that's why we're seeing this premium, this disparity in prices between all coins are going up.
But people are
right
still
now.
putting together sets. That's never going to change. I
They
can't
do.
imagine.
It's always the popular way, and it's
Sure.
just some part of our DNA code that
Sure.
that forces us to buy a coin that fits every hole.
Yeah.
I think that'll continue.
Personally, I'm working on a set of coins right now. So,
Sure.
I mean, it just never leaves us. We just have a couple more minutes. Let me hit on this. We talked a little bit about this state of the market. We've talked about some key collections. Bass, part 3, part 4 upcoming. Looking forward to that. Let's talk just a little bit about heritage auctions. Where is Heritage as a company globally, nationally? What are some of the things, and not limited to numismatics? I know a lot of folks watching this are numismatically interested, but briefly, give me a couple of things that people can sink their teeth into a little bit about where we are as a company, what we're offering, the divisions we have, just some interesting tidbit that's upcoming, you think?
Well, there's a lot of interesting things going on here at Heritage right now. We remain, rare coins, numismatics is still our largest category by far. And the bull market that we've been experiencing in rare coins has certainly helped fuel that. But it's incredible to see a lot of our other categories, comic books, sports memorabilia, fine art, numerous entertainment,
Sure,
and historical
huge.
memorabilia.
Animation is growing.
Absolutely. The growth that we're seeing in these categories has been phenomenal.
Yeah.
And much of it is because we've used the same sort of business model that we applied to rare coins that we've been able to apply towards other collecting categories. Some collecting categories like comic books, sports cards, work a little bit better within our existing coin model that we did. Other categories like fine art are quite a bit different, that we've had to adjust our thinking. But we're still under the exact same ownership and leadership that has been around for many, many years. We're collectors at heart ourselves,
Sure.
so we try to deliver products and improve services that we would like as connoisseurs and as collectors ourselves.
And you know what? One thing I like about Heritage is they react to collector interest and demand. I mean, now I'm seeing Heritage has a division of video games, and it's just unbelievable that or VHS tapes certified. So as collectors ask us and say, hey, we'd like to see this, Heritage is right there. They're ready to pivot right into that market, which I think is really great.
Well, we do. Again, collecting, the mindset is very similar no matter what area of tangible assets that interest you. And when we're willing to take a little bit of risks and jump into categories like gaming cards, and you mentioned VHS tapes, gaming consoles, all sorts of things is remarkable to me.
Sure.
To see the growth in there.
Things that we played with when we were kids, dare I say,
it's,
yeah. We're that vintage.
No, it's absolutely staggering, but it's all about pop culture and trying to appeal to collectors that and hit that nostalgic side of their brain that causes them to go back and collect things that they loved as children.
Right. So Heritage still available for our clients to meet us in New York, Chicago, Los Angeles. Where else? Where else can they find us?
Well, our offices not only remain the same, but we've been expanding these offices. We're in the process of expanding even more square footage in New York on Park Avenue.
And here in Dallas, it takes 6 minutes to walk from one end of the building to the other.
Yeah, we joke that we need Ubers to get from one side of our building to another now because of the growth that we're experiencing. But it's Beverly Hills, of course. Chicago is a relatively new office space. It's beautiful. If anyone has a chance to visit the Chicago office, it's really a neat office, one of my favorite offices to visit. We're expanding in Hong Kong. We're expanding in London. So it continues to keep us busy here.
Well, lots going on here at Heritage, lots going on in May, the Central States, lots of new categories for you to collect and enjoy. Todd, thank you very much for carving out a little time for us. Come and see us at Heritage. We love to fill your collecting needs. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.